You know that feeling when your alarm goes off at 6 a.m. and you have to go to work again because you couldn't sleep the night before? Well, you're not alone. 80% of professional developers know that feeling, according to the 2024 Stack Overflow survey results. 1 in 3 programmers actively hates their job, while nearly half are just going through the motions, stuck in their comfort zone. That leaves only 20% with any illusions of happiness. Personally, I could pound away at my keyboard all day and be happy, which is why I found these results quite surprising. Programmers are well paid, get plenty of vacations, can work remotely, and even when forced back to the office, they usually have nap pods and adult ball pits to help stave off depression. But apparently, that's not enough. In today's video, we're going to dissect the brain of the modern code monkey and examine their peculiar environment to uncover the truth about why farmers and plumbers are statistically happier and, more importantly, what you can do to cope with this. Last week, the annual Stack Overflow survey was released with over 65,000 responses from professional developers worldwide, and it contains a ton of surprising insights into the current state of programmers and technology. Not only will we look at these data, but also anecdotes from strangers on the internet to shed light on the underrated issues faced by those who code. Reason number 1. Money, 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 and more money. Money can't buy happiness, but let's be real. You've never seen anyone cry while driving a Lambo. Programmers are well paid, but not as well paid as you might think. They say if you learn PHP, you're guaranteed a Lambo, but here's a reality check. PHP is almost the lowest paying language, with an average of 49K, and to make things worse, that was a decline from last year. The reality is that every PHP millionaire like Zuck or Levels is also an entrepreneur. The real problem with PHP is that it's popular, and you'll notice that less popular and specialized languages like Golang and low-level languages like Rust earn better salaries. The best way to make more money, however, is simply to be reborn in the United States, where salaries are higher, or learn to talk to people so you can become a manager someday. Paradoxically, however, depression rates are much higher in the United States than, say, Southeast Asia, so maybe it's true that money really doesn't buy happiness. If you're getting into programming just for the money, you might want to rethink that plan. Reason number 2, technical debt. The number 1 frustration shared among professional developers is technical debt. And here's what technical debt really looks like. This code base is ugly and flawed, but it gets the job done. So let's keep building on top of it because starting from scratch is too hard. This process continues for years and decades until the code base is full of comments like, "Fix this later," and when you run git blame to figure out why the build fails when you remove this single line of code, it shows the obituary of some guy who worked there 8 years ago. This means the best thing to do is simply not touch this code. We all want to do a good job, but it's almost impossible when confronted with soul-sucking technical debt. But what can you do about it? Well, to be honest, practically nothing. It's not the fault of any individual programmer, but a systemic problem caused by reason number 3, the work hard or die culture. While you're writing code, you have the tech lead pressuring you to close all these tickets before the end of the sprint, who is being pressured by the engineering manager to launch this product by the end of the quarter, who is being pressured by the VP to execute the product strategy, who is being pressured by the CEO to increase revenue, who is being pressured by BlackRock to beat profits, who is being pressured by anonymous trillionaires of the deep state to fund interdimensional wars beyond your understanding. The machine has to keep moving, and all this pressure is eventually released through frontline software engineers, which comes in the form of unrealistic deadlines and expectations. Now, what you can do about this is quit. The turnover rate among software engineers is extremely high because, unlike many other industries, you can usually make a lot more money by changing jobs. But you might still not be happy if you end up working for a corporate dinosaur where you become nothing more than a cog. Many companies are so bloated with bureaucracy that it becomes almost impossible to get anything done. When programmers have to go to meetings to schedule pre-meetings to discuss the agenda for the next meeting about last week's meeting, they start to become disillusioned. Viktor Frankl showed us how a man can find meaning in life despite the most horrific circumstances, like a concentration camp, but he never had to do programming work between 7 meetings with product managers who have conflicting requirements. Meetings can kill your focus, but ultimately it's hard to be happy if you feel your work isn't contributing anything of value to the world. Now, even if you have a great job, a great salary, and a great boss, You'll probably be fired around the age of 25 when you become too old to program. All the recent layoffs and the COVID boom hangover have left a big part of the industry disillusioned. But programming can also be very unhealthy physically. According to science, being chained to a chair all day is unhealthier than smoking. But also, according to science, exercise is one of the best, if not the best, remedy for depression, so that's an easy bug to fix. But even if it's true that 80% of programmers aren't happy, the best way to deal with this is to realize that out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls, and the most massive characters are seared with scars. But there is a way out. Take all the experience and knowledge you've accumulated over the years to reinvent yourself. Imagine a future where you can work for yourself, with no boss, no company pressures, and doing exactly what you love, creating, developing, and reinventing yourself. Discover how you can transform your skill set into a successful venture with total freedom and control over your professional destiny. Click the link in the description to learn more about taking the next big step in your career and achieving the professional fulfillment you deserve. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. And